Hello and thank you for joining us. We invite you to view our recent report on the ongoing situation involving Chad Doerman, a resident of Ohio who brutally murdered his 3 young sons in a horrifying manner just days before the 2023 observance of Father's Day. If you are already familiar with the initial details of the incident and prefer to skip the review, please locate the update chapter link provided in the video's description for the newest information. The date was June 15, 2023, just 72 hours before Father's Day, when an inconceivable atrocity unfolded on a quiet street in New Richmond, Ohio, a place that could easily be mistaken for any peaceful American suburb. The sheer depravity of the crime shocked the community so deeply that the prosecuting attorney later requested the highest bail ever recorded in county history. The Doerman family lived in a modest home on the 1900 block of Laurel-Lindale Road. The family included 32-year-old Chad, his 34-year-old wife, their 3 sons, 7-year-old Clayton, 4-year-old Hunter, and 3-year-old Chase, and Mrs. Doerman's teenage daughter from a previous relationship. The children were known for their energy and close bond. They loved baseball, adored their family dog, and were inseparable companions. Just one day before the tragedy, the boys were at the baseball field, celebrating the joy of another game. Kristen Bennett, president of the local youth baseball league, remembered watching Chad behave like any devoted father, buckling his sons safely into their car seats. It was a fleeting, ordinary moment, one that would tragically contrast with what was to come. On a warm, overcast afternoon in New Richmond, chaos erupted when a terrified teenage girl ran down the street screaming, "My stepfather is killing everyone." At 4:18 p.m., a driver called 911 as she fled toward a firehouse for help. Officers arrived to find Chad Doerman calmly standing on his porch and arrested him without resistance. Outside the home lay his 3 young sons, Hunter, Clayton, and Chase, each fatally shot. Their mother, wounded while trying to protect them, was rushed to the hospital. Investigators later revealed Doerman had methodically executed his children, one by one, in a scene that left the community shaken. According to the Claremont County Sheriff's Office, Chad Doerman was charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder after confessing to the killings. He was taken to jail and held without bail. During his first court appearance, the prosecutor emphasized the unimaginable suffering inflicted on the victims, their family, first responders, and the entire community. He described how Doerman had lined up and executed his 3 sons, a deliberate, premeditated massacre. The court heard how the boy's mother, in a desperate attempt to protect her children, grabbed the gun and was shot through the hand. The prosecutor detailed that one of the boys had tried to escape into a field, but Doerman had chased, captured, and executed him. This was not a moment of rage, the prosecutor said. It was methodical cruelty, carried out with precision and intent. He requested a record-high bond of $20 million, calling Doerman the greatest conceivable danger to the community. The judge agreed. A week later, a grand jury returned a 21-count indictment against Doerman. 9 counts of aggravated murder, 8 counts of kidnapping, and 4 counts of felonious assault. The indictment alleged that Doerman planned the killings months in advance, a fact supported by his confession. Doerman pleaded not guilty to all charges. His legal team did not request a bond hearing, knowing it would be futile. Prosecutor Mark Tooley announced his goal plainly: to pursue the death penalty, ensuring that Doerman would be executed for his crimes. This was an incomprehensible act of evil, Tooley said, a horror inflicted upon his own family. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the question of motive remained unanswered. Doerman's father told reporters that his son just snapped, though he couldn't say why. A look into Doerman's background revealed only minor offenses: a dismissed misdemeanor at age 18, a 2010 domestic violence charge that was dropped, and several traffic violations. Police had visited his home twice since 2020, but the nature of those visits was unclear. Child Protective Services had no record of complaints, and the family's modest home, bought for $75,000, was paid up and stable. By late 2023, Doerman remained in custody, awaiting trial. Court documents revealed disturbing new details. He had allegedly confessed in a recorded interview that he had been contemplating shooting his sons for 8 months. He claimed severe mental strain and sleeplessness in the days before the murders. But soon, a major legal twist would alter the case dramatically. In February 2024, during a pretrial hearing, a detective admitted under oath that he had failed to read Doerman his full Miranda rights. Defense attorneys immediately moved to suppress Doerman's confession, arguing that it had been obtained illegally. The court agreed, ruling that Doerman had clearly requested legal counsel and that questioning should have stopped immediately. As a result, all statements from his interrogation were thrown out, dealing a major blow to the prosecution. 12 days later, Doerman changed his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. But before that motion could proceed, both sides reached a plea agreement that would conclude the case. After the hearing, Prosecutor Tooley addressed the media, explaining that sparing the victims from reliving their trauma in court was a primary reason for the plea deal. He emphasized that while the death penalty would not apply, Doerman would still die in prison, without any chance of freedom. Tooley also noted that death penalty cases in Ohio often take decades, and this resolution ensured immediate and permanent justice. Chad Doerman thus joined the tragic category of family annihilators, individuals who destroy their entire families. Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Philip Resnick, in his landmark 1969 study of 131 such cases. Which of these applies to Doerman remains unclear. What is certain is the enduring heartbreak he left behind. A mother and sister burdened with unimaginable loss, a community scarred, and a nation once again asking why a parent could commit such horror. As the case reaches its legal conclusion, the emotional devastation continues. Though justice has been rendered, the haunting question remains unanswered. What could drive a father to murder his own children in cold blood?